Check your turkey decoy flock. William Hovey Smith, 2022.
This is Hovey Smith, the Backyard Sportsman. And it is a week before the official start of Georgia's turkey season for most of us. And what I'm doing today is we're having a pre-deployment inspection of my turkey decoys. Now, these decoys have evolved over the years, some of which are quite complex, others of which were simple indeed, but are very effective in attracting turkeys. Consequently, over the decades, I have gotten and used and modified a large number of them, most of which are still with me back here. The earliest ones that I used were fairly thin, flimsy foam decoys, similar to those in the back of the spread, but those finally gave up the ghost and so have been replaced. But just about everything else I think I probably still got with me. Now, because these were made by different companies, they use different fittings. The decoy stakes themselves are more or less the same, although they have annoyingly small differences. In short, one female stake may not fit the male end of another. I guarantee you want to find that out before you get out there in the dark and try to put your spread out. So this is part of what's going on. I also have some inflatable decoys back there, and frankly, I just want to make sure they still hold air. They may or may not. Well, we're going to take a closer look, and we'll discuss some of them further. Starting with the simplest of them all, we have this Gobbler Fan with a head, and it's imprinted on both sides with the same design. It came with a plastic stake, which was not suitable, so I replaced it with a wood dowel that you see now. Now, the problem with this, if you're sitting some distance behind it and the wind turns it absolutely on edge, it disappears to the poor turkey who's coming towards it. But it'll come back as the wind blows. So this is sort of similar to, the real thing in the way a turkey moves. So that's not all too bad. Next in line, in front, are two inflatable decoys. Now you will note very easily that these are very, very shiny indeed in the sunlight. Too shiny for my taste. I pack these in when I have a distance to go because they are lightweight. I don't recall I've ever shot a turkey over them, although I have tried them several times. The sheen is objectionable, but on rainy and very overcast days, I think they will probably work. So there's still hope for those, and if they hold air, yeah, I'll keep them in my kit. Now behind them is a Jake and hen foam decoys of the more modern fashion. These are made out of stronger and thicker materials than the previous ones, are more realistically painted, and, well, generally better decoys, although more bulky by their very nature to carry in a pouch. Nonetheless, I do. And these, when I am moving from place to place trying to chase turkeys, yeah, this pair, as well as the fan you saw first, goes with me. Now we move over to Helga and Henri. Helga is a solid body plastic decoy. It's big, it's heavy, it's bulky. It also had a rather puny stake on it. Well, as you can see, I replaced it with a piece of 2-inch dowel with a point on it. And that I can drive into most soils most of the time. But in very heavy soils, yeah, we have problems and we have to dig a hole for it. And this one I use on my food plots where I have blinds, so I don't have to haul it around in my bag or try to. In windy weather, yeah, I'll stick it out there, and it does work, and I have shot turkeys over it. Now Henri, next door, he has gone through some modifications too. He's using his original metal stand, but that fan is a replacement. The original fan didn't work, so I modified it so it would take another company's aftermarket fan and made a backing plate out of wood to put on the back of it and put the whole thing together. So again, this is one used with modifications and used successfully. Yeah, this one has killed turkeys. Work here in progress on the ground is a mechanical decoy that employs batteries. When you put those stakes in the ground and you put batteries in the box, you're able to rotate that decoy on the push of a button so that it swings left and swings right and actually deploys. Well, I took the batteries out for storage between seasons, which of course you should always do with any battery-powered stuff. And now we're going to replace the batteries and see if it works. We have turned on our decoy, and we will see what happens. Nothing. I suspect this has a small battery on the inside that we need to extract and replace. I also have some stake problems. On one pair, you see one stake is distinctly shorter than the other. And although I have male and female, the male piece is too large in diameter to fit into the female piece. But I have a means of reducing that in size, so I can make that one fit. Now the other pair is a pair of male-ended ones. I'm going to see if we can cut the top off one and then fit the other, so we actually have two completely usable stakes out of that. That may or may not happen, but we won't know until we try. I'm going to turn down this one male end to see if we can get a better fit. Plastic, if you run it too hot, tends to melt, so you want to run at low speeds rather than high. Something about like that. A little paper. Okay, I'm going to call that good. I'm just going to go ahead and cut this end off and see what it looks like on the inside. One thing I can guarantee you, it's not solid. They would not waste that much plastic. No, but there is a lot of plastic there. No, that won't work here. One thing I can do is enlarge and deepen this hole so that that steel stake will fit in it. And that way I'll be able to use that mechanical decoy even if I can't get the batteries to work or whatever. I'll be able to salvage it. Okay, Well, that smaller piece was just a little lip. All right, that should work well. We have trimmed this stake, and we have arrived at a hole of an interesting diameter, as you will shortly see. Now, one problem is getting these stakes in the ground. Well, if you're in the Midwest and have deep, loamy soils, it's no problem. But almost anywhere else in the nation, yeah, it is a problem, particularly when we get dry weather, as we often do. Now, the traditional thing is try to push them in with the palms, and right now it sort of works. If that gets too tough, that's what this is about. And you can just tap it in there well enough to hold it. But the ultimate solution, if you have the means to carry it, is to actually drill you a hole in the ground, put your stake in, and you're done. Now, this has a little tab on it, which could be removed if necessary. So now this goes in here, voila, and our goody turkey can now be deployed. Oh-ho. And it's big enough that it will swing in any wind, just like any other of the decoys. Well, you two can fight now. So now, even without the mechanical aids, that turkey decoy can be used. Woof. Watch out for Buddy there. Indeed. Our control mechanism did have a battery in it, but this is of a size I am not personally familiar with. At any rate, it is obviously corroded and worthless, so yeah, that's got to be a very significant part of the problem, if not all of it.
I'm an author, mostly of outdoor books, but also business books and a novel. Extreme muzzleloading is the most thorough treatment of turkey hunting in my softcover titles. However, I also have an inexpensive ebook series on muzzleloading hunting, and this includes load and hunt information for taking turkeys with muzzleloading rifles, shotguns, and muskets. And these are available from Amazon.com and other book sources worldwide.
I never had occasion to use that size batteries before for anything, but they do exist in the world, although they are uncommon. So we'll put that in and test the unit again. We have had gusty wind, and there has been some deprivation of the flock, as you can see. We're now ready for a test. Now, significantly, when I press the button, the red light glimmers a little bit. Now, he does have a bad case of droop wing on one side, so I'm going to have to put in a cross brace there. But yeah, he's definitely showing movement. And now for the grand finale, we'll let them all dance before I lock them up. But now, this is Hovey Smith, reminding you to hunt what you eat and eat what you hunt. Be legal, be ethical, be safe. Goodbye, God bless, and see you next time.
I would often store the bulky decoys in fixed stands around my food plot. But now I've got a golf cart that I can use for the first time, and this will allow me to take more materials with me and work more areas each day. I have a Kickstarter project starting on March the 28th to support the distribution of a hardcover version of my well-reviewed business book, Make Your Own Job. To support this project, you can go to the link below. To find out more about my business books, videos, blogs, and other activities, or make a donation, you can go to hoviesmith.com. Hunt what you eat and eat what you hunt. Goodbye and God bless.